We are going to look at one problem this morning. It said if 5 raised to the power of 2x minus 26 all in bracket 5 raised to the power x plus 25 equals to 0. Find x. It's not difficult, simple as ABC. Let's write it down. 5 raised to the power of 2x minus 26 all in bracket 5 raised to the power x close bracket plus 25 equals to 0. Amen. Okay. This equation is called an indicial equation. How are we going to solve indicial equation? I'm going to solve it step by step. Is that clear? So that you people will understand and know how to solve this indicial equation. Are you following? As long as you know your indices very well, we are going to apply indices here. Is that clear? To solve for our x here. You know, sometimes you might not even see it this way. Sometimes you will see problems of this form. 5 raised to the power of 2x plus 1 minus 26 all in brackets 5 raised to the power x plus 25 equals to 0. It's the same approach, but if you come across something like this, I know some of you will be confused because of plus 1. Is that clear? But let us look at this one first. I'm going to open your eyes. I will open your eyes. Is that clear? Okay. Now, what we will first do, you know, in our last video, we solve reducible equation. That is, equation that you can reduce to a quadratic equation. Then, if you look at this indicial equation, compare it with the previous one, the previous video, is the same thing. But what is confusing you here is 2x. Amen? I'm going to open your eyes. Okay. Note that in indices, if we have, assuming 5 raised to the power of x, do you know that this is the same thing as 5 raised to the power of 2x? This is the same, this 5 raised to the power of 2x, this is the same thing as 5 raised to the power x close bracket raised to the power 2. Do you agree with me? It implies that you are going to use power law here. If you use power law, x times 2, it will give you back 2x. Is that clear? Do you understand? Okay. So if you agree with me, it means this is the same thing as this. Do you understand? Okay. So we can transform this way, this way. So this will be 5 raised to the power of x all in brackets raised to the power 2 minus 2, that is 26 all in bracket 5 raised to the power of x plus 25 equals to 0. Amen? So now, what we will do here is we are going to reduce this to a quadratic equation by saying let m equals to 5 raised to the power of x. It implies that anywhere you see m and anywhere you see 5 raised to the power x is m. So now this first bracket will now be m all in bracket raised to the power 2 minus 26 all in bracket m plus 25 equals to 0. Do you agree with me? Okay. So now if you agree with me, let us open the bracket. It implies that this one will give us m squared minus 26m plus 25 equals to 0. You know that this is a quadratic equation. Is that clear? And we are going to solve the quadratic equation. Okay. Thank God that the coefficient of m squared here is 1. So I will not bother much. What we will look at, we know that our sum here is minus 26. Then our product here is 25. Now, let us ask ourselves, what are the two values that I will use to multiply themselves, and it will give us 25. Then by the time we add them, it will give us 26 minus 26. What are the two values? Amen. We know that the two values are 25 and 1, two of us. Because if you use 25 to multiply, it will give you 25. But note that we are going to consider the operations here. Is that clear? So if you agree with me, let us consider the operations here. Okay, let's just say 25 minus 25 and plus 1. Let us try it. Minus 25 times 1 will give us minus 25. It means this action will not hold. Because even if we add it, okay, let us add it. Minus 25 plus 1. This will give us minus 24. It means this answer will not hold. Because we are looking for two values that we can use to multiply themselves, and it will give us plus 25. By the time we add them, it will give us minus 26. You discover that this and this cannot hold. Okay, let us do plus 25, and it means this axiom cannot hold. Is that clear? Plus 25 and 1. Okay, let's try it. 25 times 1 will give us 25. Okay, 25, sorry, and 25, let us add 25 plus 1. It will give us what? 26. We are looking for minus 26 and plus 25. It means this axiom too cannot hold. Okay, let us do it this way. Minus 25, let us reason minus 25 and minus 1. Is that clear? Let's do it. Minus 25 times minus 1 will give us minus times minus plus. It will give us plus 25. Then minus 25 plus all in bracket minus 1. It means this one will give us minus 25. This one times this minus 1. It will give us minus 26. So it means this axiom will hold. So the factors are minus 25 and minus what? 1. Is that clear? Now, you know, in the other video, I told us that since we are looking for a variable, which is m here, so I told us that since we have gotten the factors, note that we have minus 25 and minus 1. We just use these factors to multiply m. So definitely this will be minus 25m and minus m, because 1 times m will give you m. It means you are going to substitute this and adding this to replace this minus 26m, these factors. Is that clear? So here, this is how this equation will be. Amen? Okay? So this is how this equation will be. It implies that we are going to have m squared minus 25m minus n plus 25 equals to 0. Is that clear? If you compare this equation with this one, you discover that they are the same thing. Is that clear? So this could be written in this form, m squared. We can write this in this form, m square minus 25m, all in brackets, minus m plus, minus 25, which is equals to what? 0. Is that clear? Okay. So now, what is common here? We know that here, this first bracket, what is common? M is common. We bring m outside, minus 25. Then what is common here? Minus, it's okay. So now we know that we can transform this one this way, m squared minus 25m, all in brackets, close bracket, minus m plus 25 equals to 0. So what is common here? M is common, m minus 25, all in brackets, minus, what is common here? 1, all in bracket, m minus 25, which is equals to what? 0. Is that clear? The reason why we know here, I know some of you will ask, how come we have plus here and then we are having minus? Yes, it's because of, by the time you use this one to open this bracket, we'll still get back this idiot. Is that clear? So you notice that the two brackets are the same, true or false. So we pick one, then this one outside will form another bracket. So here will be m minus 25, all in bracket, m minus 1, which is equals to what? 0. Is that clear? So we know that in quadratic equation, a times b equals to 0. It implies that either a equals to 0 or b is equals to 0. Is that clear? So if you agree with me, it implies that these two brackets will now be m minus 25 is now equals to 0, while m minus 1 is equals to 0. So m minus, that is, if this minus 25 crosses the sign of equality, becomes what? 25 plus 25. Likewise, this minus 1 crosses the sign of equality, becomes what? Plus 1. So we assume this one to be m1, we assume this one to be m2. Now, the question is, we should find x, not m. So at this point, we are going to record that you said let m equals to 5 raised to the power x. Is that clear? So let's say m1 is equals to 25. So instead of this m, we are going to equate it to 5 raised to the powers of x. Is that clear? So this is 25 equals to 5 raised to the powers of what? X. Okay? So if you agree with me, it implies that this is the same thing as 5 raised to the power x equals to 25. Now, we can solve this or find the value of x without any issue. How? Look at the right hand side and the left hand side. You discover that the left hand side, 5 is raised to power x, and the right hand side is, we have 25 here. But note that we can simplify this 25 this way, true or false. We know that if we have 25 is the same thing as 5 times 5, true or false. Then this is the same thing as 5 raised to the power of 2. You discover that the left hand side and the right hand side, 5 at the bases are the same, true or false. Okay? So if you agree with me, here will be 5 raised to the power of x equals to, instead of 25, we are going to write 5 raised to the power of 2. It means this is the same thing as 25, true or false? Since the bases are the same, this and this will go. It implies that our x is equals to 2. Okay? That is for M1. Now, let's consider M2. Our M2 is equals to what? 1. Is that clear? So, if you agree with me, our 1 will be equals to 5 raised to the power of what? X. Amen? So, if you agree with me, we can rewrite this figure this way: 5 raised to the power of x equals to 1. But note that anything raised to the power 0, if we have assuming 5 raised to the power 0, we know that it will give us 1. We want both the left and the right hand side, the bases, to be the same. So we now equate 5 raised to the power of x equals to 5 raised to the power 0. It means this is the same thing as this. So this and this will go. Therefore, our x is equals to 0. So finally, we can conclude by saying that our x is equals to 2 or x is equals to 0. Any question? If there is no question, thank you very much.